Hey, it's your boy Easy, and on today's episode of Easy Opens, we're going to be taking a look at Lego's Series 17 of their blind-bagged minifigure sets. At least 5 of them, and hopefully the 5 that I was looking for. And if all goes according to plan, I'll be able to tell you which things to look for in the set when you find these in the wild. That way you know what figure you're going to get in each bag. And this is my first blind bag opening on film, so hopefully I don't make a mess of it. But let's go ahead and get right into it and see what we got. All right, so the way we're going to do this is that I'm going to take a guess as to which figure is in each bag and then put a name on each bag, and then later on we'll open up each figure to see if I was correct. Now, thankfully, all 5 of the figures that I was hoping to get are displayed here on the front of the package. So the figures I'm looking for in this set are the Circus Strongman, the French guy with the baguette, the Battle Dwarf guy, the Corn on the Cob guy, and the Rocket guy. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this figure up. That sounds terrible, but that's what I'm going to do, and see which figure we got to start this thing off with. So I think that this one is the Battle Dwarf. Now, real quick before we go any further, just want to preface that I did a quick Google search as to the names of these characters, as I don't have the checklist and I didn't see the official names anywhere. So I took this from Google, so if I get the names wrong, apologies. But I think this is the Battle Dwarf, so we're going to go with that. And there we go. Now, moving on to the next figure. I think that this is the barbells that I'm finding here. So I believe that this is the Circus Strongman. So yeah, so let's go ahead and put the name on that. And then on to the next figure. All right, so I think that this one is the Rocket Boy because I felt the tip of his rocket ship, and that is a terrible sentence to say aloud, but that is the truth because that is the defining feature of this figure, and so I believe that's what this one is. So I'm going to put the name on this one and move on to the next figure. All right, moving right along, second to last figure in this set. Yeah, I think that this is the French guy with the baguette that you can feel right here. And yes, so let's go ahead and put that name on him and move on to the final figure. All right, for this last figure, I do believe that this, I do think that this is the corn suit guy. Yeah, so let's go ahead and put the name on that. And there you go, that's all of them. And now, thanks to the magic of editing, I now have the checklist that we can go through, and I can point out what things you need to look for, or I should say feel for, whenever you're hunting for these figures in the wild to make sure that you get the figures you're wanting to get. So let's start up here at the top. All right, and we'll go left to right. So first figure, we have the surfer dude. The main thing you'll want to feel for is the surfboard, the shark surfboard right there. That's going to be the main defining figure or tell in this bag. If you go to the Circus Strongman, the thing that I found was the dumbbell. The mustache helped, but the dumbbell was definitely the main giveaway. Moving on to the chef or the baker, the whisk. I think that's a whisk. Let me know if I'm wrong or not. And the pie. Those were the 2 things that I found that helped me out a lot. But the hat will help as well, but those are the 2 defining things for that figure. Onto the corn cob guy, or the corn suit guy. I found that the ears or the stalks, or I'm not sure what these are, but the things on the side that jut out, those were dead giveaways. Also, you can feel the rivets of the corn on the figure, but it feels kind of like Marge Simpson's hair from the Simpsons wave of these figures. But I found the sides to be easier to find, and you'll feel the hole for his face to go in, and that's going to be how you find that figure. Moving on to the veterinarian. The thing that I thought the bunny would help a lot, it does, because I mean it's an extra part in the bag. But the main defining thing that I found was her hair. It's very sharp, and it comes to like a point, and that will be one of the main things that'll help you find that figure. Moving on to the waiter guy, I guess. The tray, the hot dog, and the drink will be the main things you want to feel for this figure. The hat will help as well, but those things, you'll find the drink with the straw, and that'll give you a good clue that that's who you're looking for, or that that's who you found. Onto the fairy girl. The big thing with her, besides her wings, are the fact that she has no knee articulation, no leg articulation, so that part does not move. So because she's a shorter figure, and that'll be a big giveaway for this figure. Also, the flowers might help as well, but considering I think that they might come without being attached to the stems, they'll be a little harder to feel for. But the definite things are the wings and her legs. Moving on to the Spartan-esque guy, the main thing you want to feel for is his Triton. Like, that's really all you're going to find in the bag. Probably his hair too, but the Triton's going to be the dead giveaway. And then moving right along to the French guy. Here, I'm going to fold this down. There we go. All right, so the French guy, the Bulldog does help a lot, but the main thing that worked for me was the baguette. It's got I don't know if you can really see it here, but his hand is gripping it, and so there's an indentation on the inside of it that helps to let you know that that's what this is. And plus, it's pretty big in the bag, so that's a dead giveaway for that figure. Moving on to the battle dwarf, or whatever he's called. Just like the fairy girl, he doesn't have articulation in his legs either, so he's also a shorter figure, so that's going to be a dead giveaway. Also, the hammer is what I found that helped out a lot, but the axe is actually in two separate pieces. It's one stem, and then the axe part, the blade part, goes on top of that, so that'll help. And then also his mohawk and his beard are separate pieces as well, so there's going to be a lot of pieces in this bag that should give you a good indication that that's the figure you're going to get. Moving on to the retro space guy, the thing that I found was his gun. You could feel for the tip of it, and that'll be a good tell for this figure. Moving on to the 80s yuppie guy, I think the only thing that you can really find with this figure is his phone. Now, the phone is two separate parts, so that might be a little tricky, but that's going to be the giveaway for that figure. And we're going to move down to the last row, starting with the Rocket Man, or the Rocket Person, whatever you want to call him. The tip of the rocket ship, which sounds really dirty to say out loud, is going to be the giveaway on this figure. And it's pretty obvious given the size of the rocket ship. Like, when you find it, that's just you'll probably know as soon as you find it, but just to verify, feel for the tip, and that way you'll know it's that figure. Moving on to the exercise instructor, this I guess that's water, like a water bottle. That's gonna be one big giveaway, and then the other is her hair. That's the other thing that I felt for and found. So that's how you'll know you'll get that figure. Moving on to this elfin princess, or warrior. She has the skirt part, or piece, I should say, that instead of legs, she has this part, and you can feel it in the bag. It feels very, like, just strange and at an angle. And she'll come with the shield and sword as well. So those will be the other defining features. But the skirt is the main thing that you'll want to feel for. And then on to the mystery figure. So you might want to skip ahead if you want to be surprised still. But this figure, from what I could tell and from what I found online, he's like a colonial bandit. So he's got this colonial hat, he's got two pistols, and he's got a cape. I think he might even have a mask. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But you'll definitely want to feel for the hat and the two pistols. But I also found his cape too. It's a little different than the retro spaceman's cape, but I think it's a little bigger. But that's what you want to look for when you're feeling for trying to find this mystery figure. And then that's it. That's what you need to feel for to get all the figures you want out of Series 17 of Lego's minifigures. Now let's see if I got the ones that I wanted and how accurate my guesses were with the figures that I picked up. All right, let's start with the corn suit guy here. Let me grab my scissors. And of course, unfortunately, when I'm shooting the video, I can't find my normal scissors, so I have to use my pocket knife scissors. So let's see. All right, yep, this is him, corn suit guy. So we're 1 for 1 so far, so let's move on. All right, let's move on to the Frenchman. And yep, we've got the Frenchman. So now we're 2 for 2. All right, moving on to the Circus Strongman. All right, yep, this is the Circus Strongman. So now 3 for 3, so we've got 2 more. So let's keep it going. Now on to the Battle Dwarf, which sounds really epic and really offensive all at the same time. But let's see if we were correct. And yep, there he is. Got him. So there's 4 for 4. One more figure left. All right, now the final figure that I picked up, the Rocket Boy or the Rocket Man or the Rocket Girl, the Rocket Person. There we go. Let's see if I was correct. And yep, here he is. So I got all 5 of the figures I was looking for. So there you go. Now let's move on to actually assembling these figures and see how they look all together out of the bag. All right, so here they are, the 5 figures that I personally wanted from Series 17 of Lego's minifigure blind bag sets. Now, I'm going to be doing individual reviews of each of these figures coming up after this at some point, so be sure to keep checking back here to Easy Opens for more opening goodness. Else time.